Daher Chaveri, we're coming to the Chadish. The sky of Rabbeinu, searching first lesson, first Torah, the Maran, searching the first time to understand what the Rebbe teaches us, hear what the Rebbe has to say, in a way that we want to do it. We want to be freshen up and get down to work to try to do this. First Torah, the Maran, one today, stands on Torah and the words Ashrei Tzvimei Derech Ha'olchim B'Toras Hashem Posuk in Tehillim, which means you go with Torah. And that's the lesson we're going to learn, that through the smother or the shmir of always running to learn Torah and watching your day to be connected with Torah in the way you can, as we will understand that. There is a way you can do it. You will come to your fulfilled person, a person with fulfillment completely. The person who is fulfilled is a person that has an understanding, has a chochmah kedusha, a different way to look at life and look at everything. As we will say, this is called looking at the seichel sheb'chol davar and finding the chen of kedusha. Ashrei, tzvimei derech, the oisha, the greatness of the way of Elach Yidden do it. The way the Elach Yidden, he lives a good life, he succeeds. It's a different story. It's what the Torah gives you. You can become a different person. That oisha, that greatness, is close to you. You can get it. How did he get it? He's a big tzaddik. Can I do it too? The Torah says, yeah. The ashrei tzvimei, the oisha of the tzvimei derech, is ha'ochem Toras Hashem. You just connect with Torah. This is what I'm teaching over here. You're going to be different. Yeah. Okay. So now the Rebbe starts with that. I want you to know. When the Rebbe starts, he says he wants you to know. Oh, there's a special word in that he says da. And we have a remez or mikubal that's like lightning from a very high place. But I'll go down and just be plain. And my Rebbe says, I want you to know this, you know. So I got to listen. And there's something that he says over here which is in da. It's something that you have to know and remember. And if anybody else says it's different, just take care. You're learning something? Da. I want you to know this. Don't get mixed up. Da. So it says, on the Torah, through Torah. Through that, you'll get to the level that your tefillis will be as it should be. Skabelim ha-tefillis. And all the bekoshes, and the mevakshim and mispalim, and all the prayers that we are praying and asking for will be miskabel. Also, the chen and the chashivas of Yisrael, this Aleph and Israel, the charm, the chashivas of the chen, is this Aleph. It comes up. There's a charm of kedusha in the world, and when Israel, it gets higher and higher. If they call me that this chen makes difference in anything you need. Ein begashmi, ein beruchni. Ein beruchni, ein begashmi. In ruchnis, this chen is going to help you, and a gashmis is going to help you. So we'll just go back to understand. The Rebbe talks over here about what you have to become to Torah. We'll just make a point here that the question is, what kind of Torah does it mean? Does it mean learning all day? Does it mean Ian? Does it mean Bekias? He's talking about learning Chumash, Mishnah, Gemara, Halach, or Putamra, Kabbalah. What he's talking about? He's talking about doing it full time, or he's talking about every limit. There's also a question, just get a question here. Well, we learn Torah just because we have to learn Torah. It's a mitzvah, it's the biggest mitzvah. We don't have to think about anything to get to anything. Why does it say that through the Torah you will to something? Okay, let's get the point. What the Rebbe means over here is this is called learning the right way. Because if you learn just from nothing, it's not Torah Lishma. It's not what Torah is meant to. Torah is meant to get you close to Hashem. This is what the Rebbe is saying, that the Hakal Torah, you'll be close to Hashem. Well, and what the Rebbe talks about here in the Skabelim HaTfilis, everybody can ask, okay, so there's a way that my Tfilis are going to fly up. What does that mean, right? So everything we say, what am I? So a big tzaddik and a big rebbe. People come to me, ask me to Miskabel Tefillah. I will explain further on that the rebbe reminds 4 levels over here. So he reminds the words in Miskabel Tefillah 4 times. What does he do? Because he's talking about levels of Kabbalah Tefillah. Well, that will also answer why there's a kefil of the lashon. Tefillah and bekoshes. Why does he say two lashonos? And not only that, he says it again. And why does he turn it back and forth? We're just asking the questions now. Later on, we won't go to questions, we'll say the answers, and everything will be understood. Now, he says the union of the chen and chashivas. Chen is like a charm, chashivas is chashiv, right? What does that mean? Does that mean I go into the police, to the governor, to the marshal, and say, hey, you know what? And they'll listen and they say, or your friend maybe, or guy, what does it mean? Or is he talking about something ruchni here? But after explain that, that's the main point of this Torah. If you don't get that thing of what chen means over here, right? We couldn't understand the whole Torah. So we just stopped to stand on this point. But as a whole, we got the picture, right? The Rebbe says there's 3 things in the world. There's Torah, there's Tefillah, and there's a Salas Achen. So let's just get it straight. What do we know? We're Am Hashem, Am Soilim, but He's so for half Hashem loves us. He gave us a way to connect with Him, which is the connect, Torah, Tefillah. Those 2 are the ways we know. The Rebbe teaches us is the 3rd way here, which is the Seichel of Kedusha, which connects to the Yin of V'chein, as we will learn. These are the 3 pillars of our being, our connection to life. Now, this is what makes your day a different kind of day. It's not just an empty day. It's not a day of business. It's not a day of this work. It covers your whole being. The Torah you learn changes you. The Tefillah, you go into a life, a way of connection to Hashem. When you talk to Hashem, you're not alone anymore. You feel the Kedusha of the Tefillah. And you're always looking at the truth, understand how Hashem is with me. You're always busy. You always have peace of mind. You always have happiness. Here, these are the 3 pillars of life. To serve Hashem all the time with chen, salas achen, through Torah, which brings the Tefillah. You learn Torah with the kavanah to get to, I should be able to daven, I should be able to keep my understanding, my mind, which is the salas achen. Well, as we carry on, there's a beer over here. He explains what this union of salas achen is. Rabbi. You know, we always say, Rabbi, Rabbi. I mean, Rabbi doesn't remind such a lesson just once in another place. Interesting why he does it here. Very interesting. The true ken is to fall down. And not only did the true chen, the true charm fall down, but the Goyim have the chen. Big cities, called here, Altila, Bnei, money, university, a lot of big stuff. It's all rubbish, you know, it looks big. And we're poor. So our chen fell through. What does it mean over here? We have to understand. I mean, is it something begashmi? So that's why we need a goyim, we need chen by the goyim? Is that what he's saying? Or is something else he's teaching here? Okay, we're going to have to stand on that point. Whatever it is, the Torah you're learning has the power to change it all. It can bring you into attachment to a power which is unbelievable. And you have a chen, charm of Kedusha, which whatever it is, it helps Baruchni. And it changes Begashmi also. And this is the way you're going to succeed in everything you need. Well, everybody interested? Is you interested already, yeah? Okay, so we got you. So he explains that Torah Nikra Yeles Ahuvim V'Yalas Chen. We find a few times Rabbi Melech calls the Torah Chen. And the Rebbe stands on this pasuk, Ayeles Ahovim V'Yalas Chen, Shema L'Chen Elamdeo. This pasuk is explained. We more in Erevin. that the Torah has a curse to be malachein alum deo, which a means that a Talmud Chacham usually is poor. He's like, doesn't dress up normal so much. That's all. He's not a person that looks so, a young guy, he's still, he looks not in a way that he has a charm. He looks, street on the side, So the Torah gives you a chain. So malachein alum deo, people, they don't honor him, they don't have no look up at him. So he can't get along in his daily life, which means that means in a plain way, right? That's the plain explanation over here. So the Torah does say chayin. The Gemara says Rabbi Shulchan Levi over there, because the pasuk says after that, it will always make you yarvucha, you're not thirsty anymore. It'll fill your thirst. You're going crazy into an hours. You just lose yourself. And Rabbi Shulchan Levi was learning, and he just was stuck in the Torah. If he got his some beggar, and if he was up in the high parts of the city, and this was a low part of the city, was you forget yourself. So there the Gemara says attached to the pasuk that the Torah is malachein on a person. The plain touch in the pasuk is we're talking about some kind of animal, a deer, and something like that. There's another name for the other one. A doe and a deer. Ayala and Ayala. Yael. Yael is a chaya. It's a very nice animal. Sometimes they are, right? And they have a teva that they go to when they hold on different, and they're like pigeons. They don't change partners. They got a friend, they stick with the friend. So, and they have a little chayin. And the Gemara says that this chayin means something. There's an explanation to Zohar in a deeper level, which we'll go into right away and explain why the Rabbi brings this pasuk, many pasukim which say it in a much clearer way that the Torah makes big chayin. And through this, that we learn Torah, and there is Allah Sachay. Now we're going back, right? So he's now starting from the end. Through Torah, before it says Torah, Tefillah, and Salas HaSeichel, and Chayin, right? Now he says, through that, the Chayin is going to be picked up through Torah, right? Through that, you're going to be able to daven good. Right. So if we want to understand, so this we explained the basics of understanding what's going on here, right? And we just have to remind what it says further on right away. Somebody wants to be an Ish Israeli person, goes with the dark is changing, he's getting closer to Hashem. He really means it, he enjoys the davening, got to understand the deepness of it, more with Tosfos, Rambam, said, hey, this is great. Okay, so why don't you go into it really, become a person that lives spiritual life and finds a way to be Davak Hashem in the plain life. Go into it, you will find it, which is that the person has to look at the seichel of everything, how it's a mitzvah, how you're doing Ratzon Hashem. You're doing everything you got a mitzvah, you don't do an avera, you don't do something wrong. Everything you want to be a little, more b'kedushin or closer to Hashem, right? Always look at the seichel of everything, and there are deeper ways of looking at seichel. And the Rebbe explains over here further on, this looking at seichel is merumaz and ches, because you're connecting with the chiyas of the thing. So the Rebbe says, what are you going to do if you can't connect with the chiyas of this thing? Sometimes you can't, many times. So no problem. You have the nun. The nun is the yin of the tzimtzum. Tzimtzum doesn't explain lengthily what the tzimtzum is. It's P'nas Malchus, it's P'nas Levana, it's like the moon which gets from the sun. But we're going to understand what it does mean. But the plain lesson he says over here, that there's such a thing as chayin, chesna. So this thing of looking at the seichel shebachol davar, right, has in it ches and nun, right? So that's the main thing to knowing how is the beginning of the Torah connected with says further. This is something we usually lose out on. We don't understand what it is. In the beginning it starts about chayin, which is Nisala. Later, he doesn't talk about this chayin as Nisala. He tells us this chayin is a very big oyer, and something you can't get it, you got to get it through nun. So we're going to have to get that point out to understand it, right? So what we're learning right now, we're trying to understand this Torah from the Torah itself in Obey, from what it says further, and we're trying to understand it from the inyanim that come out, how the Torah gets together, skasha, ties together, and from the touch and the things that the Rabbi brings out, understanding what this is all about. So, but we learn something that through Torah you get the tefillah, and through tefillah you get the Masala Chain, right? Because the Torah is Yalas Chain, and you have to, Ish Israeli has to be a person which is enlightened with some kind of light of pnimius, of looking at the seichel of everything. Everybody looks at the seichel, look at the seichel of halacha, of musar, of ehrlichkeit, but you can look deeper and deeper on pnimius. But it's not something you can really hold on all the time. There's no problem. There's a way to hold it on with the nun. What he doesn't explain. We have to understand what that is. So now we don't know what to do yet, right? What does it mean? What are we supposed to do? We know we have to learn Torah, right? We know the Rebbe says, the tefillah is a gabi mekubal. Yeah, but I feel very far from prayer. I don't know so good, you know? Now my spoilers isn't so good, right? And my Torah also isn't so good. What does it mean? How can I learn it this way? And then what is this idea of being maladachain? What is it? And what is it connected with the thing called okay, so now we have to give an outline what this whole Torah is about. What the Rebbe is going to teach us in this lesson. And what the Rebbe really does usually, he's taking some things that are already known in the world, and he's opening it up and he's bringing it to you. It's the Rebbe's wonder. And he explains things that you want to get to, but you don't know how to. I'll tell you how to do it. So in this lesson, this Torah, Rabbi is teaching us how to get to a thing called tefillah. How do you have a life of tefillah? How do you go into tefillah? Tefillah is like a wheel, you know? It's like it starts something saying Hashem, oh, you helped me, thank you so much, I'm so happy. Something you have, Baruch Hashem, Panosa, children, something moved in life. But that brings you after that to pray. It brings you to pray with your heart, which is a bakosha, praying on a thing that you need. It's called a bakosha. Tefillah is usually called just tefillah hamasadoros of Idam Shachar ben Hamar. Or tefillah is Shiur Zishbachas, as we'll explain soon. So, can we go into this kind of life at all? Looking different of tefillah? How do we get into it? Okay, can we go into a life of knowing what chen is? In this lesson, like Rabbi says, there's such a thing called the salas achen. There's such a thing as looking at pnimius haseichel. Okay, first thing, can you explain what this thing of chen is all about? I want to do it. I want to get it. What is it about? I'm not a politician. I'm not an asker. Do I need it? You know, it's all about ishtadlus, right? So, do I need ishtadlus? What is it about by me? So this is what we have. Rabbi teaches us, right? This chen is the beginning of everything. It's the beginning of emunah. It's the beginning of going into seichel. This is the thing you really have to pick up. It falls down. You have to pick it up. If you pick up this chen, right? You pick up this chen, you're going to be close to Hashem. You're going to come to later understand what looking in depth, what Chassidus is about, what these ideas of the Kut Halachos is about. How do you live in it and look at the world different? How do you accept these things that Tzaddikim are teaching us and look at the world, look at your life, look at everything you do in a different way? It's all standing on this thing that you know how to pick up the chen that falls down. Now, so we addressed chen. We have to know what it is. We addressed tefillah. We have to know what it is. By the way, if you notice, it starts in the beginning on the tefillah, skabel and kol tefillahs. At the end, he says again, the skabel, on the zen is skabel and kol tefillahs. Why does he say it twice? And then it says again later on, zen is skabel and kol tefillahs. Those you see in the beginning, see right at the beginning 3 times there. Really, it's more times there. No, it's 2 times there. It's 5 times really. Wait, why didn't you talk this again? I still don't know what it is, you know. Am I supposed to think that my tefillahs are going to be mekubal? I think Gemara says about farish that if a person thinks it's a person's techeles mashcha slave. If a person looks down, your heart is going to break up completely. Why didn't have? Whenever we talk about Hashem, we pray, and Hashem listens. We show He listens. Is it niskabel? So what does niskabel mean? We have to get back to the first point, which is through the Torah. So what kind of living tongue? I should be a ben yeshiva. I should be a Yerushalmi. There's nothing in his life, just Torah. What are we supposed to do? Is this all the Torah? Or is it something that I can really do? Is it Ian? Is it Bekiyas? Is it Chumash? Is it Gemara? Is it Tanakh? Gemara has charm. Is it Bekiyas? What is it? So what do you mean how Torah? How do I get that Torah should help me? Okay, so we'll start to understand, get into this Torah from the point of tefillah, first thing. Because really, if we want the chen should pick up, we want to pick up the chen b'kedusha, that's the point here. We need tefillah all the time. Without tefillah, without tefillah, the Torah you learn, still, it doesn't get into you to change your life. Torah and tefillah. Torah is supposed to be tefillah. Tefillah refreshes your learning. Learning Torah, you connect with the Eibishter. Your neshama connects to the very light of Chochmah, the Kedusha. You connect with Chochmah, but that light has to be in a higher voltage. It has to be a little bit cliff that you get the connection with the Eibishter. In Tefillah, which is Teidah B'Dof Hashem, in a private way, which is in davening, talking about Hashem made, it's Oyev, V'Yechosach, Emunah Kazos, Yisad of Mitzrayim, seeing the greatness of Hashem, all the tefillahs, how everything connects with Hashem. Well, in tefillah, that's where the Torah goes in, and that's where it becomes chen. So really, these are the connection of those three pillars of Yiddishkeit. The three pillars of Yiddishkeit in my life is what am I going to do right now? What does the Rebbe want for my life? He wants you to live a life of tefillah. Life connects with the Eibishter. And look at the Pnimis, be close to Eibishter. And you're going to get that through your learning. And he does teach later on the limit to the Torah here. He means to the Torah b'koyach, which means whatever you do, just b'koyach. You force yourself to know something even if it isn't complete. And you have koyach also, you can koyach understanding. Because the point is that whatever you're learning and any learning helps for something. It helps. There are different kinds of seichel in the world. This one helps. This kind of seichel, like Chumash Rashi, gets you connected with Eibishter. Mishnah, it's like opens up one point. Learning deeper about Gemara opens your head completely. You wake up. Learning Bekiyas, you connect with the condition of the Torah. Learning Zohar, you see the light. You learn Rabbi and Baal Shem Tov, you start to see what it's all about. So everyone does something. Now every learning, a few minutes, can't change that. Just because have a shiur. A few minutes means what you can. Like with the weight of the shiur that you can make. Stop your business. I don't take 20 minutes off, learn something. Now you should morning and night you have a shiur, person of Torah, put yourself into Torah, learn it for a few hours, and see that the Torah should get you close to Eibishter. That's the idea. Rabbi says, Alidei Torah isn't just saying Alidei Torah isn't a skabel and tefillas. You're going to get a bonus. The Eibishter's going to listen to you. He says through the Torah, you have to learn Torah to come to tefillah. That's the idea here. That is the idea. Now, we have to get down to understanding what is tefillah says. Ian of Torah, the Rabbi explains here, on the beginning of this, of the left omid over here, we'll get to that later, right? We're starting the understanding of tefillah, which opens up over here. We're starting to understand at the base of what it says over here a few times in Skavar Matfilis, which we can't understand, and every time he says something else. Because later he explains that the Kabbalah Tefillah is through the Staklas HaChech, which is Chen, Chesnon. Does he mean that Chen right here in the beginning? Good question. It's not the same thing at all. So later it's being a person that's looks into Pneumius, looks into Kedusha, as an eye sees the Pneumius of the Kus, everything. Over here in the beginning it's talking about something else. Does it mean that? Okay, so we're going to start right now with the first thing, what he brought at the beginning about tefillah, what tefillah is all about. And we have that question that we ask. I'm going to get down to the answer just, right? The question was asked really. What does it mean when he says twice, Tfilis of Akashis? What does Tfilis of Akashis mean? The Tfilah, what is the two things? Okay, so we have a Gemara, Mshas Brachos. The Shmoya al Arina vel Tfilah. So the Gemara says, the Shmoya al Arina vel Tfilah. Shmoya al Arina vel Tfilah. Arina is a Tfilah. Tfilah is a Akash. Mashal explains that when Chazal remind only Tfilah, it means both. It means Tfilah and Bakasha. Tfilah means Shiur Shbachos. Bakasha means, I have a private question. I do. Is there a Bakasha? Is it one?
Request.
Request. I have a request. I'm asking for something. I'm begging you for something. So when it says Shula Shyness, it means two different things. It means the Shmoya al Arina vel Tfilah. The Rebbe hears our Rina, our Torah, which is called Tfilah, and the Bakosha. And Tfilah means the Bakosha. He hears these both. Okay, so we know now what it means, right? That when the Rebbe's Lashon, he says the Skabla Tfilah of Bakoshas, he wants to show us something. He wants to show you, I mean two things. I mean those two. So okay, so we can right away ask a question. Well, I can understand that my request, my bakosha, I need it to be a Kabbalah. I need it. Right? There's always a question on Kabbalah Tfilis. I mean, you never finish, you know. But I'm begging for Mashiach, and so one of them help, right? And I'm begging to be a, very rich person. Now it'll, so when is that going to happen? So the Tfilis is always, it doesn't happen right away, but everything happens. Hashem takes it in, right? And the person doesn't really see that he was helped. But he was helped everything. So what is it? So if you say, Rabbi, on Bakoshes, you understand a person can be answered. How can a person be answered on Tfilah? What is the answer about? What's the answer about? Okay. So we have that to understand. Why does he remind of all the shyness? Just why do we need to separate this thing? Okay, my Tfilah should be Bakosh. Will be Mekubal. Whatever it is, it's going to be Mekubal. Why did he have to split it? Then why did he have to say it twice? Then why did he have to turn it over? The beginning is first Tfilah, the second time is Bakoshas before. What do you have to do? Okay, so if you just concentrate on that, and you have to concentrate, I need to answer. Why do you say 5 levels of Tfilah, 3 times the words? Ali dezenis kablim at and we have the main question. I mean, what are we? Am I the guy that has to say, Ben Shalom, I want you to give me the thing. I know you're going to listen to my prayers. And nobody does that. So some people do, but, I'm probably good. Maybe they're on that level. But it's not nice. That's not the way it's supposed to be. And it's supposed to be niggas tefillah that way. So what does he mean? So we're not going to just say, okay, yeah, tefillah should be mekubal. I do believe that is true. I believe it. It's going to be mekubal. But are there any steps where that should be done? Is there anything that the Rebbe talks about that when you lose out and say that there are a few steps how to get there? And that's the point. That's why he starts in this way to say to the shyness, and he flips it back and forth and understand what he means in the beginning. That later you'll understand what he means later, and you'll understand that these are the levels. These are levels of which you become closer and closer to Hashem, and that's the way the tefillah becomes a complete tefillah. The levels we will learn over here. The first level, which we're going to explain over here, is the level of entering that realm of Kedusha. Get into it, which is a word of always thanking Hashem. And knowing the being of Hashem, knowing that He's there already. He's looking at me, You can understand, look at the guy who's looking at you, somebody's looking at me, It's Hashem. No, it's not a person, it's Hashem. And He's fully chesed, when He's looking at us. So we talk to Him. Why don't you talk to Him? Talk to Him. He asks you to talk. He says, they serve me. The Rambam says, what does that mean? More himself, his time is not bad. Avodah is talk to Hashem. That's the tefillah they rise. What's about the davening shachris, Mariv? No, it's so beautiful. We have to get into that realm. We have to get into that thing. And really, this realm is it's a wheel. Here you cry to Hashem. Here you thank Him. It's a thing. You thank, you ask, you're answered, you see, you thank, you ask more. It's like, this is a way of life. No, it's like chakras, Menachem, Marav, Chasais. It's like a whole wheel like this. Okay, so now we get this whole thing. Why does the Rebbe remind you still of shyness? Because he wants you to wake up to understand. What does it mean that become a skabel God tefillas? What does that mean? Skabel God tefillas mean that you will see that your tefillas are connected. There's niskabel by Hashem, He listens to you. You're going to feel the kedusha of tefillah. When a person goes into the tefillah, and he sees the beginning of far from tefillah, and he can't get into tefillah because he doesn't feel connected to the Eibusha through that. He didn't see his Shiur, he didn't see. He doesn't have it, mispal. He's like outside. How does he break in? Well, it happens like that, exactly like that. You have a problem, and you cry to Hashem. You ask Him. And through that, later, you see that Hashem did answer you. Now, this is something you have to see, because the whole thing never happens. When you're mispal, you have the kedusha, the schus, the Hashem did help you. You start to see it, you notice it, and you have the pleasure. So, the Tana group said, wow, Hashem did help me. And look, hey, how did I bump into this guy? And the whole thing wasn't good. Okay, I didn't get the whole thing, but so you have the schus to see that you were answered. Right? Then, okay, so you take this prayer, so you start saying, Torah, or you start thanking Hashem in your davening, in your benching, in chakras, start feeling Hashem, right? Well, after that, what happens, right? You see more that you were helped. Ruchim is connected to the Eibusha. Now, here comes the whole point that the Shmoya, Elarina Tefillah says to the shyness, which means Torah and Bakasha. Okay, Bakasha, I understand, has to be answered. But what is the answer about Tefillah? Now, well, this is one of these Seidas of Chassidus, that Tefillah, the main thing is connected to the Eibusha. The Shmiya's Bakasha Tefillah is that you broke through the Gehenna you're living at, you broke through the Hastorah, and you feel the Kedusha of those words, a world of closeness to Hashem, how the year, whatever it's in davening, whatever is the way you break in. This is Kabbalah Tefillah in the of Rina, of Tefillah, of Shiur, it's brachas, v'dos, and all the Tefillahs, Hamasador, is brachas, which is just get to connect to Hashem. If it's not Makobel, you're not connected. You're down without ties, and give your name. You're still in the klippus. The Tefillah didn't pick you out of the klippus. Malchus the Kedusha didn't pick up, and you're closed. Now, Tefillah means Malchus the Kedusha. Remember that point, because that is the meaning of Ayala Sahod Me'al. That's the Malchus. This is the way we go into Malchus the Kedusha. So there is like two kinds of bakoshas which have to be answered. Tefillah and bakosha. Tefillah is the dveikus closest to Hashem, which is davening. And then there's the thing you're asking for. It has to be answered. And answered means the same thing you see in the Inyan of Tefillah. Like in the Inyan of Tefillah, see answering means, I got it. Because it's the same thing. Kabbalah Tefillah means you know that your Tefillah is... You know that Hashem did help. Baruch Hashem, I found this happened, that happened. Wake up. Don't be so bitter. Don't be so angry. Got it. Through this, what happens through this? Well, through that, this changes your life, as we all know. Every rest of the season, we all know. You're out of this spoilers. You go back into the spoilers. This changed my life. I'm connected with Hashem. It changed my whole day. In the morning, I have this tefillah, and I'm fresh. I have this spoilers. I get out of my Yeridas. I get to Yerushalayim. I get into Torah. And I see Hashem is helping me. I see the word. No Teva, I see the word. Okay. So now you have to, that's the idea of the first level, which is the beginning. I was at Torah. When we learn Torah to get into Tefillah, we learn Torah because I want to be close to Hashem to Tefillah, right? So really the Torah you're learning is connected with, the Tefillah is connected to Torah. So it brings in Seichel. The Torah, the oil of the Torah comes into you. And this gives you an understanding, and this is called Kabbalah Tefillah, the first level. Now, with this, we can understand the Lashon of the Rebbe, why it says Tfilis of Akashis. You should open your mind. It's, I mean two things over here. And then he turns it over and says, Akashis is action Mispallah, because that's what we're talking about. First is still use Tfilah, you thank for something, then you get the power to ask for something. How you ask for something, that you get the power to Mispallah, to say Torah, right? Now, the Rebbe is also turning it over back and forth because this is exactly the way it goes. It's like a wheel. So we got the idea? Okay, so now that we understand what is Torah supposed to bring us to get into Tefillah. That's what's called Miskabel Matfilis, right? Further on in the Torah, right, we will learn that the next level is that when you pick up the Chayin D'Kedusha, Adizem Miskabel Matfilis. First level is the Torah is Miskabel. Second level, if you pick up the Chayin D'Kedusha, through that, Miskabel Matfilis in a second way. The second way is that you're going to be able to go into the Seichel D'Kedusha, and through the Seichel D'Kedusha, you're going to be able to be close to Hashem. And your tefillahs are closer, which means that you feel Hashem with your down, because you know that Hashem is. We'll learn out further on, whatever I have to elaborate on that. Then there's the next level. Through that, if you're close to Hashem, you're going to have different words of tefillah. You're going to be able to mischana. You're going to have divrei chaim. You're going to be able to have his burdens. You're going to be able to have down with kavanah. That's the next way you're going to be miskabel, right? Right? And then the next way, then is the thing that your tefillah is going to be like that you're taking Hashem's rutzen from this world and you ask exactly what he wants. So it's the chesron of Hashem. It's like, and that makes P'chinas nachas. Tov means midas harachman. Tefillah is our oile. Kabbalah tefillah b'shleimus is in metzach harutzen, which is Tov is an inyan of Avtik Yoimen, as we'll understand what it is. The Mahor Hazar. It means the midas of Rachamim, which is Metzach HaRotzim. There's over here. There's two levels in that, as we'll see later. So we have 5 levels of Kabbalah Tefillah. And that's where it goes. But first you get into find your life. Find a different kind of life. Even if you're a busy guy, you're fine. A little Torah. Gets you into Tefillah. I'm learning Torah to be Tefillah, Torah and Tefillah. Then you have to pick up the Chaim. Right? That chaim will become a little seichel. So you really dovek and Hashem. It's a different kind of tefillah. That brings you to know how to talk in divrei tachanonim. That way you are l'ratzon bein Hashem. You have a charm in Hashem's eyes. So he's miskabel your tefillah. School the clippers fall away, and Hashem wants to give you rach. This is the way that you have tefillah. Now tzaddikim hold by that b'shleimus. That's why they're tefillah some kabel b'shleimus. We're like in the middle of these things, so we get closer and closer. And Hashem also listens to our tefillahs, but the inyan of Kabbalah tefillahs in the plain understanding is in the end. That's why it says 4 or 5 times. And here the Rebbe teaches us lessons of how we go into tefillah and how we get better and better, which is very important for us. If you're talking about your tefillah, if you want to be Kabbalah, it's one point, but the main point is how tefillah is going to get better and how you're going to connect more. And how you're going to be able to really get into tefillah, have his b'olis, which is getting back to the first thing. That how do we go to the Miskabel Tefillah? That's you're going to understand why it calls Miskabel Tefillah in the beginning. Even if it's only just going into tefillah. It's through the Miskabel, right? You feel Miskabel, but no, because everything happens through that. That's why the first thing is also Miskabel. Everything changes. You're going to get to Kabbalah Tefillah in your way completely. Okay, so we have the first point, right? And we learn this from the Torah inside. About that, he says later. He reminds us, I explain later what I mean. Now let's do the same thing about So, if you look at this as it's inyan of Ishtadlus, there's no way to understand the chesha, what's going on. What is the meaning of the Salas Achem V'Chshivas? So let's get the point. The point is that Rabbi explains, now the chen fell. And the chen is by the goyim, and we have to be a mallet. What does he mean? Does that mean also that that's why we have to be askonim? You know, run for the assembly, something else? What does it mean? Over here, you understand. And why the Rabbi says we're going to say no Rabbi? What does it mean? Now we get the whole picture. The picture is very easy like that. So we have to start a shmuz about what the chen, we'll explain what the chen is. What does this alis chen mean? What does it mean? Okay, so where's the point of the beginning of Kedusha? We're in a world of dedicated, we're busy with work, and it's a world of secular, no? World of Olam, right? Okay. And every time you go to wake up, get back to yourself, right? What am I here for? What am I learning? What does Rabbi teach me? Well, it's okay. The first thing Rabbi knows, you know. I got emunah in Hashem. I have emunah. Right? Now, Baruch Hashem, I eat kosher. I'm sleeping kosher here for time. Baruch Hashem, I watch myself on Averis. I like Torah, I go to shul. Everybody feels easy guy. You have emunah, right? Okay. So now there's one question. You have emunah, but you apply it. Or is it NA, you know? Non-applicable. Yeah. It's not applicable. So when a person is broken, it's just like that. He has emunah, but somebody doesn't apply it. Doesn't apply it, you know? Person goes to shul and says, hey, go to shul. Person goes to shul like he's such a soldier, shliach of the Eibishter, to be mambach the Eibishter. No, he's not such a big goin, he's not just a big chassid of Kubal, just has a heart. He's applying the emunah. He's looking at the charm of the mitzvah. Right, I remember this. So that when I shul, just a short story, there was a guy, he was really from Satmar, right? But if he came to America, they sent him to Texas. A lot of people that came from America, they sent him to Texas. So he was a farmer, tall guy. He was a farmer, you know, he used to tell me in the morning today it's going to rain for what? He sees. He was right, he really had it. He used to walk to shul 2 miles. Go and take a bus. Lived between the goy and lost. You know, like those years back in the 60s, it was like, you know, people still lost. They're coming back. Today, I mean, they moved to New York. They came back. They found out there's a world, you know. He used to come to shul. Oh, it was such a simcha. This is the thing he did. He didn't know how to learn anything. This was his Yiddishkeit, you know. And this was like a burning like that. And I envied him very much. A small boy, I saw his burning to shul because he had a chaim burning. He had the charm of the mitzvah. Now, when we start how we have emunah in Hashem, we have to apply it. How do you apply it? What is the shiur? How do you say shiur? Measurement. Did your emunah go into you, do something to you? Or you have emunah, but it's, you know, they call it emunah balev, you know? You know, why the mitzvahs? It's too hard, all the mitzvahs. You know, people fall down to that crazy. Well, if you don't do that, you don't really have the emunah. It has no charm with you. The charm of the emunah, the chen of the emunah, what I would call that chen diktus. This is the main thing which the emunah now applies to you. Now, what is this chen all about? The chen is that we're in the nachas by melech malach and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The chen is I have chen bein Hashem. So you can. That's the chen. Because there really is no chen in the world. But the charm of this world is something which is special. Diamond, gems, you know, money, have taivas, have chen, you know, it's some special liquor, you know, costs $100 or something. Some special clothes, a special car, keys, a telephone, you know, everything is like. This is the chen of this world. Now this is really sheker, that's where we are. And this is what the Rabbi means. The chen now is everybody in the sheker, which we shouldn't talk about too much all. I mean, it's all these things of this world. This world is full of things that have a charm, a nice house, money, nice farm, nice garden, you're living nice, everything is good. Right? It has such a charm. We'll go get it, but it really has no charm. Now, what about Kedusha? Kedusha is a real charm. The real charm of the world is this Melech Malcham Malach. He's the king. I did nachas ruach for the Eibshter, and he loved me for it. What does it mean? I did nachas ruach for the Melech. I got up right like a lion getting up, and there's all kind of enemies around. Kedovi Yokim, Kari is Nasa. For my dad, I'm going to stand up for my Davina Shabbat. So you're wonderful, you're beautiful. So you have a wonderful chain. Now we're full of this chain. We have this chain in the mitzvahs we do. We have a chain in the emunah we have. And we see this nefesh we have for Kiyam Torah, for kashrus, for being with Klal Yisrael, for being Kabbalah Torah, for looking for the Rebbe, tefillin. I'm talking about the slowest level of chain. There's a higher level of chain, which is the chain of Torah, the chain of a mitzvah. It's like a higher level. There's like many levels of this chain to go up. Now, when the chain goes up higher and higher, right? What is it? It's the seichel. It's the seichel apanim, everything. Now, so chain is like the lowest voltage, lowest power of the Kedusha, which woke up. Emunah itself, which is just having, you're not applying it, has a problem. It has no chain yet. So, the Emunah which is applied to you, which is already a yichud kitzabir, so it's ches minun. Because Emunah made your das, you connected with the das. Is a seichel poshet, chain is the seichel poshet, which changes you. It's on your heart, it grabs you like chain. Now, what is chain? Under a child, it grabs you can't get away from it. It pulls you. It pulls you like a rope, string, and it begins to string, and it becomes some more of a bigger string, it becomes a big rope, but it gets you can't get away from it. It pulls you, and people go crazy. That's the nefilas chain begashmi. Some taiva gets you, and it pulls you. Really, it's a real shtus. It's a shtus, mamish. But it's now, we need that the Kedusha should pull me, which is, I can notice, I do have Kedusha. Now, when it goes into the kind of Kedusha, which is like, it's beautiful, people that dress up like Yidden, which is, like you say, it's a mitzvah, the Torah to dress up like a Yid. Don't change your way. Don't copy them. You stay with your thing. Every prat you're doing, the kap, the arak, it's beautiful. Spirit, it's beautiful. A Jewish house, it's full of chain. Now we have to enjoy the chain. And that's the point. You're not enjoying it. I think. You don't even know you have to pick up that chain. And you don't get it. Take it for granted. You got to get that chain, which is like the plain base of Yiddishkeit. It's the charm. It's the koyach. And it is also the Mashiach. It's two things. It's the charm which gets you, chain, and being carried away with that. It got you. And this is your emunah, it got you, and it pulls you, and it changes everything. The shirish of the chain is the Eibshter. Because that's the only chain that really is Klal Yisrael. It's always like the way why Hashem made the world, the Torah. Connect with Eibshter. That's the real chain of it. There's no other chain around. So here's where we start. Now we can understand what Rabbi is talking about. It says, we have to pick up this chain. Why do we have to pick it up, right? So we're just learning what it says in line 4. Now the chain fell down. Now the Rabbi says two languages here, chain and chashivas. Now we can start understanding. It says, now the chain of the chashivas, it says right over here. Over here it says, because this is the true chain. So we have two things that are true. It's the charm, and the second thing, this is a real chashuv. This is a really chashuvous thing. It's a chashuvous thing. You got to have a for it. You got to have a for it. It's the real stuff. It's the real chashivas. Okay, so now, when this chain falls down, what happens? Other things are chashiv. It's chashiv. It's chashiv for a person. To win the war, to food. Adam has it. Chashiv is a college degree, make some money. It's chashiv. You got to do some work. You do some work, but chashivas is Torah and tefillah. Yeah. Now the chen and the chashivas of Klal Yisrael fell down. The chen of chashivas of Yisrael is etzlam. That means you see something, but then it takes your eyes out and fall. And that's what happens to people that fall away. Bachar, people fall. They fall into something. See, wow, the guy has a nice house. I want that house. I have to do that. Money, power, right? Filter. Now, if you notice over here, Rabbi does us a mischak milim also. Plays with words. He says, by the chen amiti, he calls it chen and chashivas. And by the goyim, etzlam, he says chashivas and chen. Why is he doing that? So here we get the point. The point is, our chashivas is true chashivas. Torah is chashiv, tzedakah is chashiv, breaking Yitzhar is chashiv, simchas mitzvahs is chashiv. Chashivas and chen connect. Chen is the beginning. It's the beginning point. The chen is supposed to make you chashivas. Chashivas gives you like a bigger aura of clarity. Very clear. This is really chashiv. This is rafish. And when you think it's chashiv, it's finished. Chen pulls you. Chashivas is, this is it. It's the emunah with the chen which becomes a das by a person. It connects. Okay. So we have the real chen v'chashivas or emiti shel Yisrael. Okay. So now we know exactly first thing. We know what the chen means. Shel Yisrael. It doesn't mean only in shtadlers and askanas. It means the being of Yiddishkeit, the chen of. We're talking about the base of your life, of your Yiddishkeit. And you can think about it was only talking about askanas. No, this is the real stuff over here. This is of holding on to seichel in a very plain way. But every day, at all times, all the time, and any time. Right? 7/24. You see, right? I'm always with Hashem, because I have a chen by Hashem. That's what I am. And you connect it. And you get back to the real chen, real shit. You pick it up. You're always busy picking it up. You're picking yourself up. You're going to be happy. You're going to be extremely happy. You're going to be exorbitant, I say. So,
Absorbent, yeah.
Right. You're going to get, wow. No worries. Nobody's standing in your way. You just laugh the whole thing through. Because this is the real stuff. The other stuff, it's nothing. What do they have? Garnish. And you get it. No, okay. How do they go and work? What is this whole thing called God? They don't have a Torah. They have to give mitzvahs. So really have nothing to be happy about. There's no connection with anything which is of meaning. Now, what do they live off? They live off advertising or personalizing. Another word for that?
Yeah, marketing.
Marketing. Okay, so you market something, it becomes big. Yeah. So you have Marlboro cigarettes. I don't know if the guy's still around. Those signs you used to see big out at a cowboy hat. All right, and everybody's smoking. And years. Wow, so everybody buying cigarettes. It became a chashuv thing, blowing this. Do you understand that? Someone who doesn't smoke, I don't understand these people. I just can't understand it. I have no way to understand it. People think whiskey, It's whiskey's house. This whiskey, that whiskey. I don't know what it is. It's bitter. I tasted it. Some ethanol, 95%. I understand. That's good stuff. It clears your throat. That's what they used to drink in Russia. I mean, they used to use it for medicine. Like in the winter, you have to drink something, get yourself. But what is this? Now they don't do it only to something like that. They do it to all kinds of meats and all kinds of wines, right? It's heard of Tavasachil, it's heard of Gnevik, Zayla, murdering. It's all these things, what stands for being a guy, but we're different. We can't even recognize who we are, but we're different. And why they live from marketing. Somebody brainwashes you. There with the Zoras is a big brainwash. The whole thing is a big brainwash. It says, but what? When it is they have the money, they have the universities and all kinds of their goyish things, and they make fun. It's nothing really, and they know it's nothing. It's all falls apart always. It's a shaker because of all their munas tfeilis. This guy has a mun in with Zer. This guy has a mun in atheism. This guy has a mun in being woke. What it is, actually, being crazy. You know, the hippie used to be. So it's crazy, like everybody has. Now, they make a whole thing out of it. The whole thing, why there's Tavas near for the world is because they make it. They say there's something in it. Or else people get it. What is it? It's nothing. Tavas Achir, they just say that. But you know, the person has the way in his head that the thing is for this, and this is for this, and it's no. But the world brainwashes you, and you go along with it with your own feelings because you feel it, right? It's like a goyish thing, really. But if you put a little seichel into it, you get out of it. So the problem is we don't know how to get that seichel because you want a seichel at a little higher level that you can get, so you can't get out of it. So here's what it is. So what is the reason that we fall into it? Okay, so now we'll explain these words. Why does Rabbi says ki achshav? What does achshav mean? So achshav means the goddess. Or achshav means achshav, where the goddess is of so long in Malchus Roimi, right? What is now Europe, America, achshav, you know, it's this little bigger goddess. Okay, right, that's cool. But why is the Rabbi achshav? I want to say beveno sein or Rabbi. Because there are things that are called avera, big avera. That really kills a guy. You lose your chayin. You can't connect to the chayin of Kedusha when you have an avera. Blackens you out. The clip is all the various person blackened out his understanding. Just can't get it, right? But there's things called avera sein or Rabbi. Not a big avera. Small ones. Small ones. Which means, yes, a little snarrer.
Multiple.
Well, just a lot of times you do it. Right. All the tivus we fall into, the way we live, and we eat and drink, and we're busy with that, you know, and you just connect to those. Connect to the chayin of your bracha. That's too plain. I want to Vegas. So, but when it's saying or Rabbi, right, it's you're not using everything, just plain things you're doing, small erech, which you're not working on. This is what breaks the chain. This is what fills it. Now, chain is gematria, noiga. Klippas noiga is the chain HaSheker. Hashem made it in this world. There's something covering up. Like this world where you see the sun, the moon, the stars. You see the daim tzamei chaim v'daber. It's a beautiful thing. Hashem's making it. No, but it's all covered up with a hoid that Hashem is mashra on the haisei mashra, you know?
Dwelling.
No, it's like there's like the look world has, you know, it's morning, it's nice, it's share a beauty in the other world. Looks like a beautiful world, you know. What a beautiful world! See the sunrise, you know. Okay. But Hashem made it look like Torah, and it's hiding Hashem for you. For us, you would always be connected to Hashem. So that's klippas noiga. It's the way the world is made, klippas noiga. And that's what is in all kosher things. There's a klippas noiga we have to break through. The klippas noiga means halo asachein. The klippas noiga goes away completely when there is seichel. There's something you're working on. And Rabbi teaches us in this lesson how to hold on, get to that seichel, and how to hold on to plain seichel, which is chein, even if you don't get to the big part. This is very important. Now this thing starts, so the Rebbe starts right in the beginning over here. So again, it says achshav first means, achshav means whatever's going with your life now. Problems you have, the fights you have, the thing that you can't find, the Rabbeinu, you can't find the Eitzah, you can't find what you're looking for. Achshav also means what you're doing now. Achshav, what you're doing right now. Like you're not waking up. Not waking yourself up to that. Achshav means the type is the small things you do. But when he's saying a Rabbi, I'm talking about small, which makes the filas chein, which chein, charm, is klippas noiga. That's what it is. There's chein the Kedusha, which is emunah. Chaim, which is not of Kedusha, stops them when it adds Klippas Leg. That's Sheker Chaim. So after when it's in the Rabbi, it's a Chaim v'Chashivas Amiti, starting with Chaim, and it should bring you clearly Chashivas. Nofal. This is the truth. It's Nofal. Achshav Chaim, Achshivas v'Chaim Etzla. Okay. What kind of Chaim do they have? Here started first Chashiv. You market it, you make it Chashiv. You can sell anything. Any lie, you can sell it, you can do anything. Everybody knows that. All these people, they know just anything. They got some guy, somebody's going to buy it. Yeah, 1 million people will buy it, I'm all right. Through 1,000 people, that's my crowd, they got it. You mix up the world already. This is what it goes on. The Torah tells us the truth. And they make a chashivas shasheka. They say that you can be a drunk, you can be a baltav, you can be a balavera. No, you go to jail. What are you mixing up? They make it big. They make it. We say there's nothing in this sugar, and we got to get out of it. They were supposed to kaddish us with our mitzvahs. What is kedusha about? Kedusha is about they were supposed to kaddish us and saved us from the mud, from a thing. They can take anything. They something which is ugly, stinky, mechuar, terrible, maus. I say that.
Gross.
Huh?
Gross.
Gross. I don't know what it is. Okay, it's terrible, and they make it chocolate cover with some cream on top with a cherry. And you're gonna eat it. If you just lick it a little bit, get out of it. But if you bite into it, this is you're talking about. It's terrible. And that's the world we are in. That's our problem. So that's means that the chashivas, the chaim v'chashivas amiti nofel, v'chashivas v'cheinu etzlam. Which means that a nice city and a nice university. I think years ago we used to talk to people. And we were so poor and so nothing, and it's so big. We still have that. The kids, brilliant guys, fall into this thing, and people go their whole life the other way with running after something which is like it's nothing. If I say he's going to college, make money, and few people know it. I enjoy the Eibush, I enjoy Torah. These things, just make a living. There's a lot of ways to make a living, but I don't. I should stay stuck with the Kedusha. Okay, so now you got the idea what Chaim V'Chivas is. Now let's go to the first line. So the Rebbe says, through Torah, you're Mis'ala the Tefillah and the Chaim V'Chivas, which means that Torah has to bring you to Tefillah. Without Tefillah, Torah still, you don't know that Torah has to bring you to something. You don't know there's a Chaim around. Tefillah makes the Chaim. The Tefillah is Malchus Kedusha. Here you hear the Chaim opens up with you. And you're down with Eibush, you have a charm, you have the Chaim. You have to be Male and Meroimim. There's two languages here also. You notice that? Nis'ale v'nisroimim. B'fnei kol mi shetzrichen heim beruchem b'kashmi. Nis'ale means the beginning. The point at which a munah becomes a charm and start pulling. You have to pick it up further. Which is the chain of every mitzvah I'm doing. The chain of the levush of the yid, the chain of the way you talk, the chain of Torah, it's the plain chain of what you have for sure. Look at that chain, enjoy it. Bring it nis'ala, then nisroimim, and then further and further. That's the chain of the Torah. That's the chain of the chiddush of the Torah, the sweetness of the Torah. It's like level after level. Because this becomes later, stachlis for seichel to kol dover. But over there, it's like a big seichel. There's like a place which is like in the middle. Right? There's a place which is night, nothing, it's dark, but you're starting up, and the night gets small, or you're picking up, right? Nisroimim. And then there's light of the day, which is already seichel. Before it's called chain, after that's called seichel, but it's all one. Because the chain is a smaller seichel, a seichel is a bigger chain. And that's the chain. That's a lerich what's the chain bein Hashem. The person has the parasha of Chumash Bereishis says there's chain bein Hashem. The whole thing is works about chain. And it's tzaddikim and it's firm, you'll find the Chumash Bereishis in the beginning about chain. And Rabbi starts with this thing. Through Torah and Tefillah, you're going to pick up the chain. These are the three pillars of Avodas Hashem. Now, Rabbi says that The Kiwak Shiur Yisrael Nisan b'fnei kol mi shetzrichin hein beruchni hein begashmi. We can learn over here, Pshat asks why he says begashmi, so that means askonis, right? Begashmi is askonis. You know, I have a charm, and whatever I do, you know, he's my friend, and thank you so much. Give regards, you know. You like the guy, you go. So why is it begashmi? So it looks like again that's only begashmi. Well, wait a minute, why is it beruchni? What are mixing ruchni and gashmi together? Why are mixing together? Is it hein? Beruchni and begashmi. What is hein beruchni? It doesn't mean tefillah. Or does it just means what we explained? Picking up the hein haruchni, right? Which is like say the Vodas Hashem. How does it help begashmi? Right? Okay, so here we can understand very clearly. He's throwing us the whole thing over here. That if you move yourself into the Chayin Kedusha, right? Beruchni, it changes things begashmi also. Of course, you change. Now you find Chayin Hashem, so you're gonna get what you want. Now, we have it in very many things. Because the Rabbi wants to teach us this lesson over here about the Stakos B'Seich Shekol Dor. That the Ruchni is always shaded on the Gashmi. It's connected. Tefillah helps. If you look in the Seichel of a thing, the dinam go away. Everything works out different. You do your job of Ruchni, it changes the Gashmi. This is like the thing of called Pnimius HaSeichel Shekol Dor. What is called Pnimius HaSeichel Shekol Dor? There's Chiyas HaLekis the thing, Eibush is in this thing, right? That means that this Gashmi thing is connected to Ruchni. That's the main lesson over here. That's what Rabbi says right in the beginning of it. And Hein means one, you know, Hein, Achas. Hein, he says, it's still connected. If you keep up picking up the Hein, but Shiva Shal Yisrael, everything will change your life. Now, we can see it in daily life also, so he can't get up for davening. He doesn't like his job, it doesn't work. He's wasting his time. There's no meaning in life. That's begashmi. So this is going to change your whole gashmi. Dude, there's something I'm serving Hashem there. You got the light in it. It changes everything. You're not happy because you're a big wrestler, you're a big guy with Hashem, but you don't believe in Hashem at all. You don't believe in your mitzvahs. You want something you're searching for, but you don't get down to the level of chaim. So you're missing out on the whole thing. That's what's missing over here. So that's why he explains first over here. Torah brings the tefillah. With tefillah, you stop being mis'ala, and here's where you're going up. You're going up and up and up. Now we can understand why the Rebbe brings this pasuk, which gives us a picture of something which catches you. It's a charm, and you just can't separate. You go along. You can't separate yourself. You go further and further on. And as we have in the story of Rabbi Shiur ben Levi, right? Which the Torah makes this change. That the koyach of a Torah gives a chayin on a person that has a charm of kedusha. It forgets about all his problems. It forgets about everything. He's running after this chayin of kedusha. And that's what the Gemara says. That there is malachain and a Talmud Chochem who has problems getting along with people. No, since Ruchni is really close to Hashem, he puts a chain of kedusha into other people. He changes them. The main point over here, we have to build on the Mamre Hazayah, because this thing, the question is, why did the Rebbe bring this pasuk, which is really talking about two animals that don't want a deer, right? And what is the Gemara darshanas in this pasuk? Okay, so from the Zohar Kodesh, it's very clear that there's a code called Ayeles Ilse Kadisha. Malchus is the Kedusha, right? Pumas Malchus is the Kedusha. We can't explain these things very deep. We know it's Tikkun Rachel, Tikkun Leah. At night, it's split into two. It's not. And there's the morning, it becomes the Ilse Kadisha. In the beginning, it's like a call like, it's like, you know, you have to mal the Malchus. From Chatzos, And we get the dark at night. It's dark. The Shekhinah, has light in the day. It has Shekhinah light also at night. It's a different way. We're very close to Hashem at night more because the Emunah is our army and Avodah. But we have to pick up the Emunah, right? We're mal in Emunah. At night, the Emunah goes down and down and down. From Marav, you push the Emunah down, you go down. It doesn't mean to have any meaning in our life just unless you feel it. It's the way the world works. That's why you have to go to sleep and just give yourself over to Hashem. Have no questions because not time for understanding. This night means it can happen day also, but it's the Seder. The Seder of picking up Malchus means called Ha'ilsa Kadisha. Ayeles Ahovim, Ya'alas Chen. Ayeles Ahovim means the Shekhinah, which Ayeles Ahovim, which Hashem loves it. Hashem wants to pick up the Shekhinah in the morning. First, you have to have Ya'alas Chen. You have to pick up the Shekhinah. In the morning, it becomes the Shekhinah gets picked up, right? It becomes a Yichud, Shiur Shechinte. At night, it's a connector all day. Whatever. This union of night and day is called Ayeles Ahovim, Ya'alas Chen, as we will see in the Zohar. The point is, now we understand what Aliyah Sachen really is. When the Rebbe brings the Gemara, the thing, and the Pasuk, right? And we still have questions. Why did he bring this thing? That's Malachen. So that's why the Torah is called Yalachen. I mean, Torah is Malachen. Okay, the Gemara says the Torah is Can you elaborate more? Can you explain more? This is what I explain. Bring to that Pasuk. Which anyway, you're asking, why did Chazal darshan such a pasuk? Why exactly this pasuk? That's not the pasuk that ties, The answer is something deeper in it. And that deeper is in the word in the Zohar. Because we're talking about Aliyas HaShekhinah from the Choshech. It's like the kind of Rosh Chodesh. It's dark, you got to start again. The Shekhinah goes down and down, down. What happens when the Shekhinah is low? You don't feel the pain. That's exactly the point. What's the beginning of it going out? Stop feeling the pain, which is like the thing of Chatzos was called. Which is this, which I'm starting to pick myself up, which is La'ales Achever, from the lowness. And what do we have to do at night? Chatzos, Tefillah, and Torah. Torah and Tefillah. Then in the morning, there's Gala, the Seichel for the Shachar, which is Tefillah and Seichel. So in other words, the Rebbe shows us here the key, which opens the whole door. Now you get all this. See the Memorials are exact that you learn after the Torah at night to pick up the Shekhinah. So I understand what the whole picture in the beginning is. What this Torah is, that how the Torah, which means that goes in Torah, which is small, you're going to pick it up. You started Torah b'koyach, as we'll see further on. You're raising the order of the Emunah HaKadosh. You're making it applicable. You're applying it to more things. You got to grow, grow, and grow. No. It's going to grow and grow. And it's going to be the light of the day, which is the Kitzur B'Chashinta. Your Kitzur in the morning is also Yir of Chesed, and it's Chaim. We have the level of Chaim at the beginning. Now just to finish the Shiur today. We'll learn the first piece today. Just to understand further on, it explains how a person has to look into the Seichel of Kedusha. It's a great light. It's out of this world. It's a light of Chochmah which makes you light. You see everything differently. Never says, but sometimes you can't hold on that light all the time. So what should you do? So you need nun. Not like a school has, you need nun. It says that nun is less lemegarmo, klum, it's a levona, which doesn't have a light. What do you mean there? What does it mean there? So we have a lot of things we have to understand. We kind of the Torah have to know. The main eitzah is this thing that if I can't hold on into the oil of Seichel Kedusha, I have to hold on into P'chinas Malchus Levona. What do I do? Okay. So now we'll learn now. I think it's very clear. Rabbi doesn't have to explain what we have to do. Why didn't he explain it? He said it's Malchus Kedusha, it's Levona, it's less than Megamaklu. So what do I have to do? And then he says that this is the whole fight between the Yetzer Tov and the Yetzer Hara. Your whole Yetzer Hara is that you don't attach to Seichel. Your whole Yetzer Tov is looking at Seichel. And he said, I can't attach to Seichel, so I'm supposed to do it, attach to Chen. What is Chen? Be like the moon. Yeah, like the moon, dark. Sometimes they're very light, but in the middle, I don't know how to do anything. So what is this being the moon? What does it mean to Les Lemigam Klim? Okay. We'll just remind first what Rabbi Nisan says, Mavur and that the whole thing of being like the moon means if you have a big circle, right, which means that you're Machayim Malchus Kedusha, right? But with Das, right? So then you go down, you have no circle at all, right? So you don't do anything. No, you have to give Chiyas from Malchus. You have to watch to have a circle. That's the type of it. People look, you have to concentrate on what Rabbi Nisan says, and you see that that's the message. The message is no way to say you can't look at Seichel, so you don't need Seichel, you need Simsum. That's not the Taich. And if we start touching the Kutamah, everything like that, there are people that do that, you're missing out the whole thing. Every lesson you're going to miss, every Sikh and every Torah, it's not for me, I don't know how to do it. So we wash ourselves from that. Why don't we try to learn everything on the inside, whatever Rabbi teaches us, search together. I'm just opening up a little understanding. You're going to have to look more and more. But Rabbi Nisan explains it very, very clearly, very clear. There's a seichel that's a big life. But what does the person do? What can learn? Waste his day. There's a day of a bris, he says. There's a day of trips. There's a day of you have to work. What are you going to do? He says, you have to be mayor your seichel with some life, because less lamigam kolom. You have to wake up there on it. So that's attaching with the other side of the other side, right? Chenas Malchus. Okay, so you see the things is attaching. Chenas Malchus is the other side of the other side. And now we know what it is. In other words, he's saying, I don't have to explain what it is. Why did you explain? I don't have to explain why. Because I already explained it in the beginning of the Torah. But before I explained, you have to look at Seichel. I already explained, first you have to do the Chen. I did it that way. I taught it to you that way. So after that, you don't understand. Of course, you have to build up your Chen. It should become, which is push the Seichel, it should become very strong light. You get there, you don't get there. Take the light you have. So in other words, now we understand how the Chen we're talking at the beginning of the Torah is connected to the next Chen. It's the beginning of it. And it's the Malchus, the Kedusha, which is the point that we have to connect to at all times. Maybe we should be Mekayim, stop living with this Torah, search together, the Chaburas, sit together, and learn it again and again till we get down to live with the Torah of the Rebbe. We have to be in the tile with the Torah, we have to lalechas with the Torah, we have to live with the Torah. Live in this, it's not so hard, it changes completely. Bring us in a big light, bring us into Koyach Yetzer Tov, bring us to the Chaim Tov, Meshukam Amen.